each.
Folks, it's that time of the week. It's time for Jungle Drums, and this week I am once again joined by the fabulous, my Canadian cousin, Kronos. How are you doing this evening, sir?
Hey, not bad, man. How's it going?
Good. I can't really complain, and even if I did complain, no one would really care.
No, we wouldn't.
No, I mean, it's true. It's true. Kronos is helping me out big time because my usual buds that would be here this week, unfortunately... Hey, Petite Potato, thanks for that tweet. Unfortunately, were not able to make it this week. Same as last week, but this time they thankfully let me know well in advance, and so I just, gave old Kronos a call, said, hey, bro, can you hook a brother up? I need some help. Can you help me?
And I was there.
He was there.
It took a little bit of jungling around, but I got it to work.
Exactly. So we've got a decent little mix, a bit of gaming stuff, bit of tech stuff this evening. So I think we've got to kick off with one of the big items of news, which a lot of people are excited about. And I mean, to be fair, I know on Twitter I sounded like I wasn't excited, but it wasn't really that. It was just more kind of a case of, cool. And that, of course, is the launch of the Super NES Classic Mini. In fact, our good friend and fellow scholarly gamer, Mr. Creature, put up a very nice article today on scholarlygamers.com, going through the SNES, the SNES Classic, talking about the games that are on there and whatnot. So let's just have a quick chat about this. The big headline when it comes to the Classic Mini is it comes with Star Fox 2. Now, for those of you that are too young to remember the original Star Fox or whatever, let me just put this in a perspective for you. Star Fox 2 was supposed to come out in 95, right? And the development was there, they were making it. But right around that time, the whole concept in the video gaming industry of 3D completely changed. So that was when the N64 was there. I think, did they not have... what else was out? Was the Jaguar already out by then?
I'm pretty sure Jaguar would have been out before 64, but I could be completely wrong.
I think you're right. I'm pretty sure the Jaguar was the first 64-bit system. I'm sure they had beat Nintendo to the punch there.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, but so the entire landscape of what 3D gaming was about had completely changed. So they effectively looked at Star Fox 2 and said, oh, you know what? Never mind. This is already outdated. And it just sat there and never got finished. And it's a shame because actually years later they did finish it. And I know that there's been folk around that have sneakily been able to get a hold of leaked ROMs of it and whatnot. And it looks really, really cool. So I mean, because
it looks like 2 years after that, like 97 is when Star Fox 64 hit with the actual the new 3D stuff. So they must have been like, oh shit, we can't work on this anymore. Let's start focusing on 64 and getting that ready.
Yeah, and it's just a shame because I remember playing Star Fox as a kid. It was absolutely beautiful.
It was great. It was one of my favorite games. I loved it.
The thing that I was excited about the SNES Mini was because I got my Super Nintendo in the States. I was already living over there by then. So I got the ugly American version of the Super Nintendo.
Well, oh, come on. It wasn't that bad.
Compared to the Famicom?
I've never actually seen the Famicom SNES. No.
Oh,
I'll look it up right now and check it out.
If you go to that, look, I will pull it up for you, right? Let's have a look. See, this was the American. This is what the American version.
The American one.
That's the one I had. But
I liked that one. It had the eject button in the center, the little reset button. Yeah,
okay,
I liked it.
I understand. It's subjective.
The top loader, which is still kind of...
I respect your opinion, Kronos. But looking at that compared to what it looked like in Japan and in Europe, that is sexy. Come on.
Yeah, it's still got the top loader, it looks like. The gray, I like the purple, but I get why they didn't put it in.
And see how you can see the emblem here with the colors. Well, the buttons were colored They weren't that silly purple.
Yeah, that's actually kind of neat.
Yeah.
I can see where you're coming from. That is a pretty... It almost reminds me of the PlayStation Mini that they kept like that.
Yes, yes. So the thing is, that got me a little bit excited. I was like, oh, hey, because I missed out on that version. Because I remember as a kid, I always bought like Nintendo Power and all those types of magazines. And seeing the Japanese version, I was like, oh, it looks so amazing. And then when I got my Super Nintendo for Christmas and opened it up and looked at it, and you're just like... This isn't it.
Like, what is this?
This isn't what was in the magazines.
One thing, though, that they did really, the American version did better for the Nintendo were the disconnectable controllers from the Famicom.
Yeah.
Like, that was one thing where it's like, the Japanese version of Nintendo was so bad for their short cable, and it was connected to the system no matter what you did.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
So they did some stuff for it, but yeah, the SNES looks like they changed it, so that would have been better.
I mean, the game collection that's coming on it is definitely nice. I mean, you've got Contra 3. I loved Contra. I mean, Donkey Kong Country, F-Zero. Oh my god. I've always been into racing games, but F-Zero. The Kirby, Super Castlevania, Ghouls and Ghosts, Mario Kart, Mario World.
Oh, Super Castlevania. I didn't know that.
Yeah. Super Castlevania 4. Legends of Zelda, Link to the Past, Mega Man X, Secret of Mana. I loved Secret of Mana when I was younger.
Secret of Mana is, I already have it on my Android, but I'd get it again.
The thing, that gets me about it, is once again, and it's not me being critical of the system. I think, hey, great idea, it's cool. But, oh my god, the fiasco online yet again. Everywhere.
It's going to be terrible.
It's over here, for example. I can only tell it from my perspective here in the UK, right? Mm-hmm. And immediately sold out. Go to GameStop, right? Online, yep, sold out. Walk into town to physically go into the GameStop and ask them what the deal is. And they're like, well, we're no longer taking pre-orders, but you can put in a note of interest. Like I'm bidding on a damn house.
They're going to do the exact same thing they did to the Nintendo one, and honestly, I watched a thing recently about this, and they made a really good point. This was a Cinemassacre mentioned that they should have just made another run of Nintendo first, and tried to fix the balance there, because so many people wanted that system that never got it, and I know they wanted to do like a limited thing. But they didn't really advertise that, and they're not advertising it much here either.
Yeah.
But I guarantee it's going to be the exact same. Just a very limited run. If you get one, you get one. That's it. It's gone. And when that happens, people just snag them and then start selling them for
exactly.
10 times the price.
That's what I was going to say. How many people that have, basically put this thing out of stock already, how many of them were actually buying it to use it?
Yeah.
Compared
and for the
to,
people that think, for the people that think that's smart on Nintendo, it's not. They're losing money. They could be making, the people who are buying them are going to make money because they can double the price or quadruple the price. But Nintendo, it's just not going to benefit them at all. It's going to make them look like idiots again.
Yeah, I mean, you're right. I mean, there's been a lot of criticism about how they handled the NES. And I can completely see that point of view. I get it, understand.
I hope they don't do it again for this one. I'm really hoping.
I think they are, because whilst there is all that online criticism, at the same time, I think they accomplished their mission. They generated hype. They got everyone talking about it. Yeah, a lot of folk were bitching about it. But they did.
But it's still talking. It's still advertising.
Exactly. They generated hype around the whole unavailability of them and whatnot. And they created a demand, and
they did, they did, but they're not supplying the demand. That's like the one thing you have to do when you have a demand.
It's called supply and demand in school for a reason, boys.
Exactly. It's not just demand and demand. That doesn't get anywhere.
But
so, I'm. Wait, hold on. On that list, was Chrono Trigger on that list?
No, much to everyone, myself, Mr. Creature. I mean, so many folks.
Well, I know Creature would be like, where's Chrono Trigger?
Well, I mean, Chrono Trigger was the catalyst for him, if memory serves me correctly. That was one of the first games he really got. I mean, I myself, I remember I was really, really into the Square stuff back then. And
I never got into it, but Chrono Trigger was a big one. Yeah, and I didn't even know Square Enix existed back then. I just know Chrono Trigger. And later on, I found out what company it was. That happened to me twice now. As a child, I have loved
and more
Square Enix and From
Mr.
Software.
Creature, thank you for the follow. What I will say, it's about goddamn time. Thank you. Right. Yeah, no, I mean, I was, when I was growing up, I drooled over the Neo Geo, because over here in the UK, like, the prices were even more ridiculous than what they were in the States. Right?
Really?
Yeah.
They were bad here.
Oh, I remember when I moved over there, bro, and yeah, you're right, they were horrible, but they were even worse.
They're still bad.
Well, yeah.
You still can't get it.
When you're looking at, $500, dollars for a game. And so
even even the emulators online, like on Xbox and stuff, are ridiculous still.
So I mean, I was really into the whole Japanese gaming scene even as a young child. So I had, Square Enix had been on my radar when I was a youngster. So I was.
Well, I just didn't know the company. I just focused on the games. So like, I used to follow Armored Core, and there's another one from Software that I used to follow like religiously. Those were my games. And then later on, I found out, oh crap, it's the same company. Like, it's crazy. And I didn't know Square Enix had that many on Super Nintendo and Nintendo and stuff. I didn't know they even had a thing then.
Yeah.
I think they were called Squaresoft or something then too.
Yes, Squaresoft
was
the name.
So I remember that coming up on the screen every now and then.
No, but we'll see. Yeah. I'm not going to go out of my way to try to get one. I did look. If pre-orders had been available, I would have bought one. I would have. But since...
So they weren't even available for you?
Oh, they were? But for like 2 nanoseconds.
Right. So you literally would have just had to be there and ready and push the button.
Yeah. It would be like trying to get tickets to BlizzCon.
You can't. Yeah.
It's
so let's hope they do an extra run instead of just pre-order and stuff like that. They actually show up. Like, I'll pick one up if I see it. Hell yes. But it's so unlikely that I'm going to see it anywhere.
Yeah.
Where I'm going to be able to pick it up.
I mean, we're still in a similar position with the Switch over here. Amazon
really?
Still always, they've got like stock will be, we'll have stock in August, whatever, and but I say that my local store though actually tweeted the other day, and I was tempted, but then again I was like, do I really want to spend the better part of £300 just to play Zelda? I mean, it's good. I mean, I'm not sure it's 300 quid's worth.
Yeah. Well, it's the system does have potential.
It does.
So and you know what? When I had to go and pick up my controller last night or Monday, I did notice that the Walmart here did have Switches finally. It took them this long to get them, but they finally have some in. And I'm surprised the price is only $300 there. I think here it's like $299 or $399, so it's not much difference.
Yeah,
it would have been.
Yeah, that's just kind of what they usually, instead of using exchange rates, a lot of time they just change out the dollar symbol with a pound symbol. Yeah, it's irritating. That's just
which is a little unfair. It is, but you know what though?
Oh, but dude, it was great when I was a kid though, because whenever like the first time I went on a holiday on vacation to America would have been 1990, and back then the exchange rate was £1 was $1.80, so it was you were doubling your money. Double. And then the games were actually half the price back then over in the States. I remember going crazy as a kid, right? I bought all of these games, but of course I was a kid. I didn't know that America had a different television system from the UK.
Yeah.
So I had to send off all of my NES cartridges away to Mattel so they could try to engineer them. And there was only one that they could re-engineer.
Really?
And it was The Adventures of Bayou Billy. I was not impressed.
Wait, so even if... because I thought the EU version of the system would have been the same as the US system,
Not back then. We always used PAL. So back in the day, we had what was 480 interlaced. Because nowadays we talk in 1080p and all that shit. Well, back then it was 480 interlaced, whereas America used NTSC, which was 576 interlaced.
Right.
So
it's
we had
completely
two
different,
totally different TV systems.
Wow.
And funnily enough, that's ideal. Speaking of TVs, right?
There you go.
With the Xbox One X, with the PS4 Pro and all these things, you might be wondering whether it's time to jump and grab a 4K TV. I'm a bit unsure myself, if I'm honest. But there was this great article from IGN. I know, don't wince too much. But basically, it was just the other day, and it was talking about the best 4K TVs for gaming. Because this is something that, unfortunately, if you do make that jump and you skimp, you're only going to be disappointed. Because a lot of those budget 4K TVs, they're not going to be gamer friendly. They're not going to have a good response rate. They're not going to have a good contrast ratio. And to be frank, most of the cheap ones don't even have high dynamic range. Which, if you've got, even if you've got an Xbox One S or a PS4 Pro, losing out on that HDR is a big deal. I mean, that's like one of the biggest reasons to get one of those systems is for the HDR. So it's just interesting looking at what they had listed. And so, of course, some of the price on these, this is actually in between us. These prices are from the US site. So it's not in your money and it's not in my money. So I think it's a good compromise. That way we can both kind of convert.
So, yeah, exactly.
So this Sony that they've got here, this 55-inch, is proper 4K Ultra HD, is proper HDR, and as you can see, it's about $1,300. It's a Sony, though, and Sony is quality when it comes to TVs.
Yeah.
They've always been a bit overpriced, I'd say. But
but you do get, like, some people say you get your money's worth. I think they're overpriced a bit, for sure.
My first HD TV in South Korea, funnily enough, was a Sony. I don't know what you're thinking. Wait, you lived in South Korea, why didn't you buy an LG, you idiot? But it was just the way it was. I gotta do it. But it just shows you, so I mean, to get those features, that's the kind of price we're looking at. If I pull up this next one real quick, the Samsung, now this is a smart version, so now the price is up to just shy of $1,500. Just a couple of dollars.
So, it's got that built-in Netflix button.
Yeah. Which is really handy. So I mean, if you don't have one of these next-gen consoles yet, at least you're going to be able to watch Amazon and Netflix in 4K.
Well, yeah, smart TVs are good for that. If you don't have a computer or console to watch your stuff like that, at least it's built in, But for gamer-friendly, well, we kind of have it. Somehow we have it.
Look at this price difference, though. Going down to a 43-inch, $679.
Yeah, that's not bad.
Which is pretty good. It's a decent sized TV, depending on
it's bigger than the one I'm looking at right now. So
and it's got your HDR and all that. So I mean, that's not bad. This one, I love it. It's because obviously I'm over here. It won't actually even tell me the price. I have to add it to my cart to see the price. So that's just rude. Whatever, Samsung. But if you want to go big, here you go. The LG 65-inch 4K Ultra HD Smart Organic LED, a bargain at $3,500.
So I'm looking at like $5,000.
I'll take two.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, how do you feel, right? I mean, with these new consoles on the way, things like the One X, even like from a PC perspective, I mean, do you feel in any kind of rush to grab a 4K monitor or TV? Or I mean,
one thing, I've just recently got into PC gaming. My whole life, I've been a console gamer. That has been my thing, and I think the TV is one of the most underrated purchases to make when you're looking at consoles, because like the refresh rate and, like you said, like I don't exactly know how to explain it, but essentially when you push up, certain TVs will respond immediately. Other TVs have that little bit of a twitch, they take a little bit. So you have to make sure you're getting... Yeah, and a lot of the newer HD TVs, when they were first coming out, they had that delay.
Yeah.
And I couldn't even play on them. I couldn't. My response time was too much, apparently. I don't know. I just couldn't get used to the slowed down feel of it. So as long as these TVs are coming out and they don't have that, like it is actually gamer friendly, where the response time is literally instant, and there's no issues there, I think it would be great. But I don't think we're there yet.
Yeah.
I haven't played on a 4K, but I honestly don't think, even with these new consoles coming out, I don't think they're worth it just yet. Like, I feel like the price has to come down.
Yeah, I don't think there's... You can definitely get that performance for a price, but the affordable ones, I mean, like...
But the cheaper ones will probably have... There's a good chance, unless you can test it, they'll probably have that little bit of delay. And have fun trying to play any first-person shooter or fighter game or anything competitive at all. You can't. You'll always get beat.
We had... Sergeant J and myself, we had discussed this a little bit before on Jungle Drums, because I was able to use that comparison.
Less talk
hey,
and more
Karma, how you doing, bruh? Nice to see you. Thanks for the follow, man. Thanks for the follow.
Wow!
Oh, and a cheeky host.
Wow.
Too much, man.
Yeah.
Too much.
Wow.
Yeah, and so, for example, in my oh, hey, these just okay, I'll digress for a minute. For years, I've used no scope gaming glasses because computer vision syndrome is an actual thing, and I noticed it working. Being in front of a computer screen all day, not streaming. I mean, at work, and I was getting headaches. I wasn't getting to sleep very well, and I started reading up on it, and they said that these things would help. So I did a test run. And I was using these for a couple of weeks. Sure enough, no headaches, sleeping like a baby, blah, blah, blah. So now, anytime I'm playing games for a long period of time, here at the battle station, so to speak, I was always wearing these. They're a couple of years old. Unfortunately, that company is out of business. I was gutted. So I treated myself, and I got a set of Gunner Optics, Phantom MLGs, and they are absolutely a baller. I've
been thinking about grabbing some because it would be nice to have, but I have prescription glasses, so I'd have to find a way to get them prescribed.
Okay, I'm going to get with you because there is a company in Canada that does absolutely amazing glasses, can do prescription, but they only ship in Canada at the moment. That's the company I wanted to go with, but couldn't. So I'll make sure to get you that link later. But I really, if you notice you're not sleeping right or you're starting to get headaches, if you're doing a lot of video content, spending a lot of time in front of a monitor, they're definitely a good investment.
Well, a lot of us do, so it probably is a good idea.
But no, I was going to say when it comes to TVs, like we have quite a high quality 50-inch in the living room. It's just it's just a 1080p, but it's really good. It's excellent for gaming. It's got a good response time, good colors, good contrast ratio, and so, no issues. But still, the difference when I'm playing my Xbox on one of my 24-inch Samsungs, night and day difference. It's amazing crazy on a monitor. So you're right.
Well,
a lot of folk for 4K, a 4K monitor will just crap all over a 4K TV.
Yeah, 100%. And the one thing too, like even using a TV as a monitor, just having that computer input, I guess it's not the HDMI input, it's actually the PC input on a TV, makes the screen look and feel and respond better. It's just the response from a PC is better than a normal HDMI output or anything like that.
No, I mean, you're right, because I mean, when you're looking now at in 4K, for example, there's a reason that on PC 4K uses DisplayPort and not HDMI. You can get the bottom rung of HDMI ones, but most people with really good monitors are using DisplayPort. That is like the norm nowadays on high-end, PC monitors and whatnot. So, it is. I mean, I think for like the Xbox One X, I can't remember the revision of the HDMI they're using, but I think it will be one of the newer. I don't know if it's 2.1 or if it's 3 or I honestly can't remember off the top of my head.
It's going to be the highest one because it is true 4K. So I know they're doing something good for it.
But no, it's. I'm in the same boat. The thing that I like now is I don't feel there's a push for me to buy one because now that understand how the Xbox One X is going to work, and the fact
we're
that...
going to get a better thing, like you said, a better vision no matter what. So
Exactly. So you could get it now, and then later down the line when the market's right, snag that TV when you need to.
Or when you can, essentially.
Yeah, exactly, when you can.
Because honestly, it's just a graphics boost. It's not going to see anything too crazy. Like, it's just going to look better than what you're seeing now. And if you don't have it, you don't really know what you're missing.
Yeah.
So unless you're really up for that, like you really want to get the whole, like you're one of the graphics junkies, it makes sense. But for me, I'm like, meh. I'll get it when I can. I'm good with 1080p now. I don't mind. I lived with 720p for like I don't even know how long. So
yeah, it's fair. But I'll tell you what, when you do, NLK with the tweet. Thanks for that, girl. If you go into like your local Best Buy or something and watch a demo on one of the top of the line 4K TVs, though.
They look so nice.
It does. I mean, there is no denying that.
Especially the 4K curve TVs.
Oh, I know. That's what
that's
what my other half wants. She wants a curved one.
They're and like even just playing on them, just that tiny bit of curve freaks you out.
Yeah.
It is so good to have that like little bit of curve to it.
See,
I want to set up double.
If I wasn't in this closet, that would be my ideal setup. The middle monitor would be a big curved one.
Yeah, and then you can have like the two on the side.
Yeah, but what I would do is I'd have the center one be big enough that the two side 24s could be vertical. And it would just be perfectly lined up, you know what I mean? So I'd have a big curved central, and then the two other ones, but vertical. That's the dream.
Be nice.
But
that would be
like I can't, watch elbow on both walls. That's how much space I've got.
Yeah, you're gonna have to upgrade from that closet eventually.
As soon as the stepdaughter goes away to university, her bedroom, it's on.
There you go. You ain't coming home.
Nope. Oh, can I come up? No, stay there. No. Stay in a dorm.
Yeah, sleep on the couch.
Right. Okay. Next bit of news is just a real quickie. I brought the reason I put this on the dock was because I saw who was it? They were talking about that Stardew Valley vinyl. I think it was at Tara and Captain McMuffin. They were talking about it in Discord or something. And so I thought that the audience, especially the scholarly gamers audience, might find it a bit interesting. And of course, this Fallout 3 original game soundtrack exclusive vinyl LP.
It's going on vinyl.
Yeah.
That's going to sound beautiful on the right system.
That is exactly what I've read about it. They were saying that, because it's, if you think about it, if you bought it on CD, it would have the little kind of puffs and the little imperfections, but they'd be artificial. Whereas the vinyl version,
see, the one thing, like, especially coming from sound engineering and music industry for so long, and like one of my buddies, vinyl, that's it. That's all he is. That's all he listens to is vinyl. And there's a big reason for it. And he actually showed me one night. We sat down, had some drinks, and then I became one of the people that believe in vinyl.
I'll tell you,
it's just a beautiful sound compared to the CDs and digital music. It's unreal.
My stepdad, who is, he's from Kentucky, right? And I remember this, it would have been a good 20 years ago or something, but he had one of those stereo kits that he built as a teenager or whatever back in the 60s,
nice.
Right?
Yeah.
So he had an amp with the vacuum tubes.
Wow.
Yeah. So
that is awesome.
I would have been, how old was I? I was like 14 or 15. And obviously I was as much a geek back then as I am now. And so we used to do shit like fix TVs, and I was really big into my car stereos when I was a teenager. So I could solder shit. I did installations for people, blah blah blah. But anyway, So we fixed this amp back up, this receiver, ordered the vacuum tubes, repaired the speakers and stuff. And oh my god, if you pair up an LP player, with some nice vinyl, a good needle, you need to have a good head, and an actual amp that's using vacuum tubes.
It's unreal.
Holy shit. It's absolutely amazing.
It's scary how we did sacrifice quality for price and quantity and speed when it came to the music industry.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah,
oh man,
yeah, the Marshall double
stacks
stacks.
with tubes.
Yep.
Yeah, like even
Karma knows
I'll
where
never-
it's at, man.
Exactly. I will never buy, and this is why I don't even have a guitar amp yet. I got my electric guitar, my bass, and all that. I don't have a guitar amp because I'm waiting to get the perfect tube amp. I don't want to get a digital amp, and I'm just waiting to that. Yeah,
it's true.
Nothing beats the crisp sound of vinyl. Yeah.
For my better half's birthday, because she's an old rock chick. You know, we're both old bikers. You know, the whole kind of bike jamborees and shit. And so for her birthday, I had bought her a new vinyl, but a Bluetooth vinyl player. Because, you know, we've got
cool.
like the sound system in the living room, like, you know, sound bar and all that crap. So I got her one of those, and she was just so over the moon. Got her like a couple of old AC/DC vinyls, and
nice.
Yeah, she was just absolutely happy with that. But you're so right. It was amazing because we consume a lot of music in this house. We're very musical. We can't play music. We don't have any kind of that talent. But like on a Friday night, you know, we've got the windows shaking, you know, whilst we're having a drink, listening to music. And it was amazing after so many years of not listening to vinyl. Like you say, the difference. It's just so richer. You know, even on a digital stereo system, you know.
It just sounds better.
It just sounds amazing, that vinyl source.
Yeah, it's unreal. And and now I'm glad they're coming back. I really am. Actually, there's a store opening up near the closest city to me that's just going to be vinyl. And I know I'll be stopping in there a few times, at least.
But if the Fallout 3 original game soundtrack is something that you're interested in on vinyl, it actually isn't even out yet. It's being released tomorrow, the 30th. So if you're watching us on scholarlygamers.com today, but for those of us that are here right now, tomorrow, June 30th, it launches. It's $29.99 US, and that's at thinkgeek.com. And it does look nice. It's in a Radaway yellow, which is exclusive to ThinkGeek. It's got, you know, retro style Vault-Tec artwork.
That's cool, actually.
It does look,
really
you know, if you're into your Fallouts, it does look like a very nice collector's piece to get hold of. Nothing wrong with that, Karma. Nothing wrong with that.
Nope.
Nothing wrong with some Zeppelin. Right, next topic is, funnily enough, one of the scholarly gamers is going to this event this weekend. Hopefully he's going to get some juicy interviews. I know he's going to be writing at least a couple of articles following the event. And that, of course,
for sure,
is GuardianCon. Now, GuardianCon 2017 it's changed over the years. When it first started, it was called DestinyCon. Last year, it was the Destiny Community Con. And this year, of course, it's called GuardianCon. And it's basically the Destiny community getting together, raising money for St. Jude's to basically, you know, stick a finger at cancer. You know, that's the whole point of this. And so, funnily enough, the event itself is this weekend when they, you know, the whole community gets together and there's all sorts of stuff going on and tournaments and merchandise. Depends what you're watching on, Karma. There should be links on the app. I don't know. It'll be like a little arrowy thing somewhere or something. I think. If I can tell you.
Somewhere like that. Yeah. The app. I've never seen the Mixer
app.
app
Should
yet,
be in the should be in the top right actually. I think to share. Depending on what phone you're on. I'm on iOS, so on mine it's just up in the top. I think I can.
Right.
Yeah, something like that. But anyway.
Looking at this, it looks like. Are you checking the polls here? What they came in on?
Yeah, I'm just about to. So what they do prior to the actual weekend, which is like, you know, a con basically, you know, a big community event, a convention. The week leading up to it, what they do is a charity marathon where 24/7 they have someone streaming to the GuardianCon website, the Twitch site. Where basically, you know, so they do it in shifts. Hey, thanks for the tweet, Karma. Appreciate it, bro. So basically, it has just finished. Like, literally, just a few minutes ago, it's just ended. Of course, people can still donate, and same this weekend, all proceeds will go to the charity. But what's so amazing is the amount. Last year, they raised just over $500,000 US for St. Jude's. This year, let's have a look.
It's good.
$1,220,269. The Destiny community absolutely killed it this year.
You know what? You know what's better?
What's that?
My favorite class raised the most.
Oh yeah, see, this is the thing where you donated and you were able to cast your vote in the poll, which I'm sure. I think Italian said whatever class
awesome.
won, that was going to be the first class he was going to level in Destiny 2 or something.
Is that what it is?
I think that's what.
Well, that's still pretty crazy. So Warlock did 118,512. And Hunter was next with 82,000, and then Titan was 77,000. So that's pretty crazy.
But it's just I wanted to
that is awesome.
Bring that up because I mean, as you know, Destiny is I don't play it much nowadays, but I mean I used to be.
Well, that was your jam though.
It was my jam. That was the first. That's what got me into streaming was Destiny. That's the first game I ever streamed back when it came out.
Wow.
And that is what I used to do. And we used to stream my raids on Twitch, just every week. Oh, yeah. That was, all my early YouTube stuff was Destiny stuff. That was my jam. But, things change.
Well, even Mr. Creature, I know he plays quite a bit of Destiny. And I did when it first came out, but I didn't play it. I think my highest level was like a 20 or 30. I didn't get too far into it.
Yeah. Well, I know
it was fun though.
It was a lot of fun. Yeah, because his plateau was he didn't have anyone really to play with, so he got to that point where it just kind of, Yeah,
exactly.
And we've had a lot of discussions about that. How that game it was so fundamentally different if you were solo compared to if you had a group of folk you could raid with every week.
Oh, exactly. And I lost interest mostly because my crew didn't want to wait for me. So my group of friends were leveled above me. Yeah. They went off. Some of them are fellow Scarletly gamers, actually. they leveled up without me and kind of left me in the dust. So
yeah,
the last DLC.
I was the same, Karma. I was the same. Even prior to that, because we were, I know it sounds like I'm sounding arrogant here, but we basically, as soon as something came out, like when the raid dropped, we killed it. We had all the gear we needed within a couple of weeks. And then we did that each and every time. We weren't the norm, so for us it was a weird kind of thing. Something new'd come out, and we'd usually just kill it really, really quickly. And then we'd wait.
You were some of the top players.
Yeah, we would just wait months and months and months and months. So, things like The Division, when that came out, we all jumped ship, and we were playing that till we killed all that stuff, and we're like, okay. And
honestly, that game didn't have a whole heck of a lot in it. If you weren't a fan of the whatchamacallit there, the danger zone spot, the dark zone, I think. Yeah. If you weren't a fan of that stuff, there wasn't much for you after a certain point.
No, you're right. That's another game that, like wine, it's gotten better with age. It's still not perfect.
It has, yeah.
And we're still waiting on some more content this year from The Division, which I think the next patch is actually right around the corner. I'm sure 1.7 is not too far away.
Well, yeah, we covered that a little while ago, I think.
We did. But yeah, I really just wanted to shout out GuardianCon. I mean, these guys, they've done amazing. I mean, I think most people have had an experience, if not directly, at least through a family member with cancer. So anytime I see any kind of effort, it's just, it always gets me. It just really does. I mean, even like my mother-in-law, my better half's mother, just passed away not that long ago, after a long struggle with cancer. So it's just anytime I see, that's why I do things like Humble Bundle and stuff, and it's always all of my money goes always to Macmillan Cancer. Anytime, like if there's a game on Steam I want, I'll always go to Humble Store, and I'll buy it there instead of directly from Steam.
That makes sense, yeah.
Nah, no requirements, Karma. Just go pull it up on a browser.
I think you'll have to do it on the browser, yeah. I don't know if they'll let you do it on
you can't do it on the app. But yes, I mean, GuardianCon, the charity marathon's done, but the event itself is still this weekend, and we've got good old Lord Smithius. He's going to be there this weekend, because I know a certain person who sent him some money to grab him a t-shirt.
Yeah,
that'll be sick if it all works out. If they've got them and he's able to snag one for me,
That would be cool.
This next school year, because in my class, there's a lot of Destiny players, right? So, like, I already have a couple of shirts. Like, I have the Moment of Triumph shirt from last year. There was a special shirt for the Nepal relief that you could donate to the... Remember that earthquake in Nepal?
Oh, yeah.
Well, Bungie did a thing where if you donated, you got a t-shirt and then some exclusive in-game emblems and shaders.
Oh, that's cool.
So,
that's really cool,
like,
actually.
when I rock that t-shirt, yeah, the nerd jealousy is so deep.
Yeah,
so
the rage.
If I got a GuardianCon shirt,
oh, they go crazy for it.
Oh, what were you doing, Josh? That is.
Would you look at that?
That is so nice, man.
It's down there somewhere. Let me take another look.
Thank you so much. See, now I'm gonna have to see my bottom bar right here. I don't have tips showing up because, you know, there's no tips. You, sir, have broken my mixer tip cherry, so thank you very much.
There you go.
That is very nice. I'll get all that organized. But yeah, so GuardianCon, Tim's going to be there this weekend. I look forward to seeing the articles. I even saw him tweet at Bungie staff trying to get interviews, so we'll see. We'll see how he gets on.
That'll be cool, yeah.
It would.
I guess we'll find out.
Right, next topic. I'll try to talk briefly about this because we've talked about Ryzen before, right? We've talked about Ryzen a lot. You would think that we're a bunch of AMD fanboys here in the jungle.
Well, you know.
And, you know, hey, well, maybe, if the shoe fits. But no, the big news was obviously the Threadripper, and we've talked about the Threadripper several times, right?
It's the next big thing right now, yeah.
It is. It's huge. It's huge. I mean, the fact that it's going to have 16 cores with the hyper-threading, so 32 effective, you know, blah, blah, blah. That's great. That's
well,
great.
The interesting thing about that, though, I'm looking at the clock speeds of this thing. Have you checked that out? None of them are above 4.0.
They're a
like,
bit
none of
low.
them are even close to that.
So what I was looking at was, even if you believe these leaked benchmarks, and this is from PCGamesN.com,
right.
These benchmarks don't look that great. They were actually saying that it performed worse than they expected, and this, that, and this. And, you know, it comes back to core optimization. I mean, let's be honest.
I don't think they're doing it right.
Well,
like, I hope they are.
Well, I mean, from a software perspective. I mean, how many programs out there take advantage of all 8 cores that folk have of an i7? I mean, you know, an i7's 4 cores with hyper-threading, but 8 effective. You know, there's very little it does. So now all of a sudden you're throwing 32 at it? You know,
like at least 10 to 16, but like you said, the threads, you're getting at least 20 out of the lowest end. They don't know what to do with that at all.
They don't know what to do with that. And then when as you said, like, you look at the bottom of the line one. If I pull this up really quickly,
it's 3.1.
3.1,
I'm assuming you can.
But look, Kronos, that's turbo. 3.1 is its turbo speed. It doesn't even say what the base clock is. So the base clock's got to be like 2.8 or 2.
And see, what you've taught me is if you turbo it, you go down to half the core.
It's funny. I think the newer processors now, from what I'm looking at, they don't do it.
Oh, that's good.
I think they've changed the way it works, but definitely your.
Mine does.
Yours does, because my my AMD quad core I had was the same generation as yours, effectively, but it's a quad core, and it certainly did. But I did some testings with my i7, and sure enough, I was able to have turbo on, and it wasn't. XSplit was still using all 8 threads, so I have a feeling that information I had's actually old. You know what I mean? This is probably being an old guy. I think now
the one thing too is like, we got to see a little bit of a performance from the new Intel at E3 there, and then like I didn't really. I was like, whatever, what's it doing, whatever. But then when I realized what it was doing all at once, I was like, okay, that's pretty good.
I mean,
but I'm really hoping that they can figure that out for the Ryzen stuff, because
I mean,
again, they have to take over, like they have to take advantage of all the cores, which no one does.
Yeah. And then in most normal things like gaming, clock speed is still king, right? The technical term for it is, what is it, IPC, internal processor clock, or whatever. But anyway, you know, that's still king for games and most things. But
yeah, it's not the cores. It's the clock speed. Yeah,
it's the clock speed. But if you've got programs that can take advantage of the cores, like if like I know a certain guy who does a lot of video stuff, rendering and crap, Chronos. So for someone like you, yeah, threads makes a difference.
It does. It definitely does.
So what I've read and what I've seen, it looks like the top of the line Threadripper, that 16 core 32 thread beast, is actually going to be super expensive. It looks like it is. It's going to be super expensive.
A couple of them got leaked for prices. I'm not even gonna try and ballpark it right now because I don't remember, but it was expensive. Yeah, it was pretty high up there.
Yeah,
but not worth it. Yeah.
But what interests me though is how much is their bottom of the line one going to be? Because 10 cores, 20 threads. That's
still better than most of the cores out there.
I mean, dude, seriously, talking from a streaming perspective, from a video editing perspective, that's a 10 core, 20 thread chip, if that's only a couple of $100,
you can't go wrong with that. Yeah.
I mean,
even with a 3.1 clock speed, whatever.
Yeah.
You can. I'm sure these things can overclock. I'm sure there's extra stuff you can do to it.
Yeah.
People will learn how to take advantage of what this brings to the table, but nobody knows how to use it yet.
Exactly. I mean, the thing is, depending on the price, I mean, it brings this whole concept of you could make a streaming / video editing box that has one of those in it, right? Doesn't need a good video card or anything like that. Just needs to have enough memory and all your storage space, right? You could make that for relatively cheap. And if that's doing your streaming and your video editing, for a gaming PC, for instance, for gaming, an i7 is money wasted. An i5 will do you just fine for just gaming.
Because again, it's not about the cores.
Yeah, it's about the speed. So this is the kind of thing I think you could even go down to not even an i5, but they've got that Pentium dual core with the G284350 or whatever crap, and that's super cheap. But gaming performance is actually quite good. If these Ryzens, these new Threadrippers are cheap on the low scale, it makes the dream of having a dual PC setup for streaming.
You might be able to make a stream machine. Yeah, you might have an easier time making one.
Yep.
Yeah.
Instead of trying to get a big monster processor to.
Well, exactly.
I mean, I noticed it myself. I really wanted to be able to stream Euro Truck Simulator, right?
Right.
And 2. And on a single machine, it's not happening for me. And that's with an i7, that's with a GeForce 10 series. It just it needs another machine to stream it. It's like look at PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds. If you want to crank up the graphics on that,
it's crazy how much that takes up.
Yeah, you need to have a separate stream machine. So
and you know what, pretty much every high-end streamer you watch, the top guys, they do have a stream machine, 100%.
Yeah,
and it was probably donated to them by somebody.
Yeah. Oh, sponsor.
Exactly.
Origin PC, if you're watching. Oh man. Yeah, but no, I'm really curious to see how those prices go.
I'm hoping they do go down. I didn't know they were bringing out this many, and the lower core ones are still really good.
Yeah.
For that though, like you said, for.
Yeah, I think as a daily driver and for gaming, I think you're right. I think people might be disappointed because of that clock speed, unless, like you say, if you can overclock the hell out of them.
If you know what you're doing and you can overclock, yeah.
But here's the problem though: when it comes to overclocking, the more cores you have, the more possibility there is for instability. For example, let's just use my processor as an example, right? I can do a stable 4.8 gig on all 4, so 8 effective cores, right? I can do 4.8 stable.
That's good.
But there's a reason that I can only hit 4.8. Core 3, I believe, that's its max. Anytime I try to push it over, it just won't do it. Core 1 and 2, they can hit 5 gig. And Core 4 can hit 4.9.
Oh, that's weird.
But this is what happens with multi-core processors.
When you gotta find the balance.
Yes, when you go into overclocking, a lot of times you can have a bad die, or you'll have a limitation of one of the cores. So
yeah, and that's just.
So now just think of that. That's one thing on an i7 where I've got 4 chances for something to go wrong. Now you're talking about a Threadripper with 10. So now there's a 10%. You know what I mean? It's just.
Oh yeah, you're doubling. Like that's gonna be a little scary to see what can actually go wrong with that.
Overclocking.
Well, I guess we'll see. We'll see what happens. I guess. Like if they're stable processors, you might be able to do pretty good.
Yeah.
But starting at 3.1, you might hit 4.
Well,
like,
but it's like you say. I mean, and that's 3.1's the turbo, so that's already
the scary part. Yeah.
Anyway,
I'm very. That was when I was taking a look at that earlier. I was like, how are these guys making this work if it's only that? Like that is. Like I was kind of like I never really thought Intel was the greatest because their clock speeds and stuff are always lower. But then I learned about how they do things. But we all know AMD doesn't do it that way.
No.
Like so, who knows what these Ryzens are going to be like at that kind of clock speed? And they're definitely not going to keep up with Intel still because of the new stuff from Intel. But,
yeah, those crazy expensive i9s. Oh.
Yeah. Fantastic.
Cheers, Josh.
Yeah.
I try. Right, we are on the last bit of news, and this last bit of news is actually just really topical to me, if I'm honest.
Yep.
And
I looked at it and I was like, well.
And the folk in the UK. Last year, okay, let's put this in the context. Over here in the UK, we don't have many. I mean, there's a lot of Comic-Cons and stuff over here. There's like a lot of cosplay events and whatnot. But when it comes to gaming events, gaming conventions, obviously, we don't have PAX, we don't have all that stuff. If you go over to Germany, there's Gamescom, which of course is the biggest gaming convention in the world. You know, that's actually E3 is still about consumer products. Gamescom is where it's nothing about games. Everything's about games. But anyway, in the UK, all we have is Insomnia. And so Insomnia is at different places, around the country and everything. It's quite cool. But last year was the first ever, and I've got the shirt to prove it, Insomnia Scotland. And that was in my home city of Edinburgh, the capital. And I was extremely stoked. We made a complete weekend out of it last year. We went up there and just went around. I was like constantly on Twitter. I was live tweeting as much as I could. I made a lot of contacts. I was very fortunate enough to get in contact with John McKellen, he is one of the creators of Alien Isolation, which is a homegrown game, basically, here in Scotland.
That's pretty cool, actually.
Yeah, wow. He's still on my Twitter, and I give him shit every so often. He was looking for a Switch a couple of months back, and he couldn't find one. He said, I can't find them. And I tweeted him, I'm like, oh, hey, I found, we've got a store over here called Argos, which is almost like a mail order thing. They had Argos in the States, didn't they? Oh, I'm trying to remember. But anyway, one of these stores where you'd go in, you'd look at a catalogue, right? And you'd find something, then you'd write down its product number, then you'd go to the till and they'd go back in the warehouse. Well, anyway, I found 2 stores in Scotland that had them. And so I was tweeting them, look, there they are. But anyway, so it was cool. Had a great time last year. It didn't look like it was happening this year. And I was super upset. I was like, oh man, I really wanted to go. Because what they did last year is you could do the, pay for the weekend, bring a tent, bring your rig, and you'd be there all weekend. So you could be streaming from there. You had VIP passes,
That's really cool.
So I was hoping to do that this year. This year, the venue has changed, unfortunately. But at the same time, they've also teamed up with Resonate. So this is actually going to be the UK's biggest gaming festival. Mashup. And so there's only 21 days to go. It's going to be the 21st to the 23rd of July, 2017. At the SEC Glasgow. And so there's all sorts of great info here. There's all sorts of games that are going to be things. If I just scroll down here, right, there's obviously the main stage. There's a lot of YouTube talent, folk like Syndicate. Pro Syndicate's going to be there. Who else is going to be there, actually? Let me look at it. Oh, come on. Yeah, Terrorizer. Yeah, of course, Syndicate, Marley 13, Batchy, 8-Bit Gaming are going to be there. Darko, Dark Games, Rosbowski, The Prentice, Speedy, Ross Boomsocks. So there's going to be some pretty good panels, because they do the usual panels, this stuff, where there's tips and tricks, and the YouTubers will give their pearls of wisdom. There's obviously all the exhibitions. There's VR zones, Indie Zone. They always do a huge Minecraft area. And it's usually at Insomnia is usually the biggest LAN party in the UK.
That is cool.
But because of this year's venue for the Scotland one, I'm not sure if there's going to be much LANing occurring. But we'll find out. I have applied for a press pass. I'm hoping to go in that kind of, remit to maybe give me a bit of access here and there. I hadn't heard anything back, and it was actually perfect. I'd said something on Twitter when Smitty was showing off his press pass for GuardianCon, and I said, I was supposed to be going to so-and-so, but they haven't got in touch with me. I guess I'll just have to buy tickets. And sure enough, they tweeted back, no, hey, we're still sifting through them on our end. So wow. So I still have a chance.
Yeah.
If not, no biggie. I'm still going. It just,
Yeah, you're still going to go.
It would have been awesome to have the press status, because then I would have got access to certain areas.
Exactly.
Because
so,
if that
what, you still might get it. So
I still might, regardless.
Keep on them. Just keep tweeting every day. So do you got it yet?
Regardless, I'll be there. I'll be repping Scholarly Gamers. I've got a Scholarly Gamers t-shirt. I've got the business cards. I'm going to be trying to do as much video content as I can. I'll probably live stream from it as well, depending on how my mobile signal is.
Right.
If I can't live stream, then I'm just going to do video content that I'll record and upload later. So I'm really looking forward to it. We're going to do the same. We're going to make a weekend of it. We've got family up in Glasgow, so we're just going to go up, stay with them. She'll probably hang out with them and go party and stuff, while I just go be a geek for the weekend. But it's unfortunately last year for the one in Edinburgh, the venue was amazing, but they didn't really do much PR for it. It was a real shame. They still had a lot of folk turn up, like people in the know knew to go. But it really wasn't as advertised as well as it could be, and it was the same with this one. There's a little bit of buzz over here, but hasn't been the same push. And put it in perspective, every year they do a huge one in Birmingham, I believe, and those are the ones that are numbered. Insomnia 60, Insomnia 61. And big huge deal about those. But the Insomnia Scotland, they do an Insomnia Ireland now as well. That would be a blast. one day. But just the atmosphere at Insomnia Scotland last year was just absolutely amazing. That's the thing about us Scots. We're quite, we're very hospitable. It's very similar to over in the States when you think about it. I mean, a lot of folk over in the States are very, very, well, I'll just use North America, because let's be honest, you Canadians are absolutely lovely as well. It's just, it's Scotland, to have an event like that was great. And I'm just really happy to see that a second one's happening. Hopefully they've got some swag, although I'm not sure if they can beat that skyline there. That's actual cool. Edinburgh Castle. Like, if you don't know anything about Edinburgh, you need to get on the internet, have a look, because you've got the main city, right? And then you've got Edinburgh Castle, which is ancient, right? And it is on top of a dormant volcano.
What?
Right? And this dormant volcano obviously has natural defenses. At the bottom of it is what used to be called the Nor Loch, or North Lake. But that's no longer a lake. Instead, now it's what's called the Princess Street Gardens. So it's a beautiful, like a big national park. So the first time, if you were to walk from the west side of the city, just coming in, right, the hustle and bustle, the next thing you come around a corner, the next thing you're looking, and you see this huge castle on top of a volcano with this beautiful national park underneath it, and the hustle bustle in the city. There's
that honestly
no
sounds like
place
something out of
like it on Earth.
Yeah, that's like fantasy stuff right there.
And see, this is the thing. When people ask me, why the hell did you come? When people learn that I lived in the States, that I lived in Asia, that I've lived in all these other countries, and some Scots can be quite grumpy, they're like, oh, why the hell did you come back to this shithole?
Oh, yeah.
And it's, walking to Edinburgh, and there's your reason right there. That's
Honestly,
my home city.
Exactly. Like, my hometown sucks, but I've moved all over Canada, but I still keep coming back here. People are like, why did you come back? Like, and there's some very valid reasons not to come back. I'm like, it's home. You come back to what you know, and if it's like that, well, yeah, that makes sense.
It's true.
That is amazing.
Well, that's it. I had to drop that in there because you do have a Mixer account, so not that you necessarily use it, you bastard.
No, it's true. It is very true.
We could be co-streaming, man. Could be co-streaming.
I know. We're gonna have to try that soon. Before
it's fun.
I've got a few months, I think, before anything else happens, so I definitely got to try it out.
It's hella fun.
Yeah.
Well, look, we're out of news. We're also out of time. First and foremost, I have to say thanks to Kronos to being here this evening, because let's be honest, you'd be bored shitless if it was just me drumming on over and over like last week. And to have his lovely, sexy voice with us, it adds little bit of flair.
Always willing to help out. It's good.
Much appreciated. And also, thank you to all you lurkers, all you guys that tuned in. Really, really appreciate it. I know the timing sucks because of these stupid time zones, but when you've got a city that has a castle on top of a volcano, you understand why I live over here.
That.
But hey, thank you so much for dropping by. Thank you so much for the Twitter love. Thank you so much for the hosts and the follows. If you weren't able to watch us live, then chances are you're watching this, or you've watched this on scholarlygamers.com, where scholarlygamers.com is a community dedicated to a higher standard within nerd culture. Let's be honest. Analytical approach to gaming news, reviews, and of course streaming. All you have to do is get on the internet, search for hashtag scholarlygamers. You're going to find a whole suite of, a collection of talented people, most of them quite young. There's a couple of old folk like me, but really talented, bright individuals, whether they're streaming, whether they're creating video content, because I think Armchair Gaming's coming soon, is it not?
Next Wednesday's the first episode for Armchair Gaming.
Hype train is real.
It's going to be good.
So there's video content. Obviously, every day during the week, there's a new news article up. So please make sure to stop by scholarlygamers.com. Check us out. In the meantime, hey, that's us. We're done. I'll be live probably tomorrow. I don't know what I'm playing yet. I think the boys will probably want to play Siege again, but I'm also debating I might actually just play with them tomorrow, but then I'll stream later, like after they go to bed, because I think I want to try to play with some folk over in the US tomorrow. Maybe get some cheeky Overwatch on or something. I don't know.
There you go.
We'll figure something out. But anyway, hey, enough drumming on, Jungle. Jesus, come on. That's us for the evening. Thanks so much for tuning in. Kronos, once again, you're a scholar and a gentleman, and it's much appreciated, man.
All right, see you guys later.
Take it easy, bud.